and Planet Bliss join forces to help as many people as possible. However, that help requires tremendous amounts of resources. Live Hope is supporting Native Americans, Aborigines, Maori, native from all over the African continent. The pandemic worsened their living conditions, and Live Hope is helping with food, supplies, and medical necessities. Your contribution is fundamental for their survival. Please donate now to www.livehopefestival.com. While Planet Bliss is supporting healthcare workers on the front line worldwide with their necessary protective gear, your contribution will protect our heroes, doctors and nurses from around the world, to stay safe and keeping fighting COVID-19. Please donate now to www.planetbliss.com. The only way we're going to get through this is thinking as we and acting as one. I'm joined by Dr. Kathleen Rosenblatt. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? Hi, Kathleen. How are you? Can you hear me? Today, we're going to be joined by a very special guest, is Kathleen Rosenblatt. She is one of the founders of Acupuncture in America. And we're going to also talk about alternative medical's way of dealing with the virus, viral infections in general, and also to be healthy in an alternative way. Planet Bliss wants to remind you that it's very important to be a part of a tribe. And we are needing your help as much as possible. So you can donate to our website. And when you donate $100 or more, you can receive for free a baseball cap or a t-shirt or a mask. And we will be able not only to help people from around the world, but also you will get something back from us. This is our way to say thank you. So every little change counts. When you go to grocery shopping or you have some change in your house, just donate to Planet Bliss and Live Hope. And it, for you won't be nothing, but for the people that need help will be a lot. We're joined by Kathleen Rosenblatt, Dr. Kathleen Rosenblatt. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen. Can you hear us? I can see you. You hear me? So Kathleen is in her house in Los Angeles. We're just having some technical problems, so I'll make sure that she talks to us. It's very important. We're very lucky to have her today with us. We're going to discuss so many subjects about alternative medicine. She is an expert. She fought to bring acupuncture in this country. So she's a very fundamental figure in the alternative medicine. I want to make sure that everybody reminds that we are here to celebrate Earth Day every day and to change the world. Kathleen, hi, how are you?
Hi, Sara. Hi. I hear you now.
Yeah, if you can talk to the camera so you can see me.
Oh, okay. Hello, Sara.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm good as one can be these days.
So, Kathleen, I know that you are one of the founders of acupuncture in this country. Tell me more about that.
I hate to start well, but we started acupuncture back in the early 70s. We convinced a teacher. We were doing Tai Chi Chuan. We were doing long sticks, short stick, sword, knife, all these forms of Tai Chi. And we heard this word acupuncture. And our teacher brought another teacher to teach us who didn't speak very much English, but we were able to have classes every week. And this was in 1970, 71, 72. We started the Institute of Taoist Studies because we were very serious about it at the time. I mean, this was a Taoist thing for us. And then we started the National Acupuncture Association. And so we were the very first ones. It kind of started in my living room. And we started the first clinic at UCLA, the first legal clinic, by convincing George Moscone, to put something on his legislation to pass a law that would allow acupuncture in a medical school so that we could have a research clinic. And so he did. Unfortunately, he was later murdered. I feel a little bad about that. But he got elected because this brought in the Chinese vote. So we had the first clinic at UCLA. We had a lot of film stars coming, Katharine Hepburn. We had Bill Walton, the basketball player. We had Omar Bradley, 5-star General Omar Bradley, Mrs. J.C. Penney, Dorothy, she was the famous, anyways, we had a very interesting clinic at UCLA. And we also went to Hong Kong to study in 1972. So Stephen, my former husband, actually wrote this book, The Birth of Acupuncture in America. And it's all about these early years. And we actually have Basil Moore, who's writing a script about these years. Maybe it'll be a film someday, because it's a very exciting story about how we were inadvertently helped by the mafia twice. We didn't know it. But, getting us passed to Nevada and Florida, Massachusetts, Oregon. Stephen was the first non-Asian licensed in the country in Oregon. And he did the first doctoral thesis on acupuncture and brain waves, which was a seminal study that really is one of the wonderful studies. So those are those years. And we're still doing acupuncture. And
why this book? Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And what's the title?
I specialize in anxiety and depression while I'm working on the backaches and headaches, because the body is so interconnected that every cell has a
What's
little...
the title of the book?
The title is called The Birth of Acupuncture in America. And
also, where did you study, Kathleen?
Say that again?
Where did you study?
We studied in Hong Kong and studied in Chinatown. We were doing a lot of studies in Chinatown here in Los Angeles.
Tell us how acupuncture works.
Well, when I lecture, the name of my lecture is called The Human Electromagnetic Laser Body. And I've given this lecture in French in Paris twice. The whole point of it is that these meridians, these electrical channels, these electromagnetic channels have all the characteristics of a laser beam. So that when you get it, that your body has all these laser beams in it, it changes your whole outlook of your health. Because you realize that, yes, the organs are important, and the Chinese have a very interesting way of working on the organs, a certain relationship between the organs that is virtually unknown in the West, but that really holds up, so that you can pull from an excess condition, let's say like heartburn, for instance, where there's excess, and you can pull that energy to, say, the lungs and the large intestine, where there might be a deficiency. So you eliminate the excess and you strengthen the other organs, and you come out with 2 birds with 1 stone. You've gotten rid of your heartburn and you've strengthened your lungs and your intestines. So that's just an example of the manipulation that's in the science of acupuncture. Because otherwise, a lot of people think that, it's just some kind of hocus pocus, and if you believe it, it'll work. But it's much more there, much more to it than that. There is really an art and a science behind this. That we have this electrical cord.
Is it based on belief or actual science?
It's based on science, yes. It's a 4,000-year-old science, for that matter. China is the only, continuing culture for 4,000 years. They've never been disrupted they've had their wars, but they've never disrupted the culture. So that this understanding and this knowledge has been, implemented over, 4,000 years. So there's kind of science. Mm-hmm.
That's acupuncture treats everything or just pain?
Acupuncture can treat everything, because your whole body, every cell is electromagnetic. And there are these lines of energy that go through the body, just like we have our lines of the nerves and the lymph and the blood vessels. We also have this quantum energy going through our bodies. that is very, very manipulatable. So that there is a science to it. And we assume the electricity in our walls, but somehow we forget. We study EEGs and EKGs. Those are all studying electromagnetism. And an MRI is electromagnetism. That the M stands for magnetic resonance. So now there are ways of treating the body with magnetic resonance, which is what I do all the time. I have a special machine, a stimulator that treats the electromagnetic field around every cell, because every cell, the cell membrane is the brain of the cell, and every pore is like a socket, electromagnetic socket, but it gets caramelized with sugars and proteins as we age, and that's why we age. That's why we have pathology and pain, because these cells are sort of like crammed up and they don't move. And so when a young person has surgery, for example, they snap out of it quickly. But when you're older, everything is sluggish. So my stimulator, PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field stimulator, re-establishes the electrical effects of that. And when I lecture, I'll invite people up to use it for 5 minutes or 3 minutes. And every single person will say, oh yeah, my shoulder's looser, or my back doesn't hurt, or I can feel the floor, or even I don't feel the depression I felt 5 minutes ago. 2 women in Paris said, well, dude, I just feel so much better. I didn't think they'd change in 5 minutes, but they did. I mean, it's amazing what's possible. Because usually we spend a half an hour with this machine. But even in 5 minutes, you can get some changes. So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So I use it with the acupuncture needles, with or without the acupuncture needles, and that enhances the effects of the needles.
Kathleen, what was the weirdest comment that you had to reply to when people don't believe in acupuncture?
I've been doing this for 50 years. So I'm so used to everything. It's like, oh, that's just voodoo, or, but it's been a long time. Here in Los Angeles, we do get a lot of the newest things. And so acupuncture's been around so long now that many doctors do it. And I just don't get many odd comments anymore. It's just, they just say, who's your acupuncturist? Everyone seems to have one. So, it's like, we finally gotten to a higher level, so that when I see things on the television that says, oh, if you have a headache, take this. For me, if you have a headache, and just take a pill to stop it. It's like looking at the light on your dashboard that says engine needs repair, and just getting rid of that light. A headache is a gift. It's a signal that there's something wrong in the body. Is it from the gallbladders? Is it from the liver? Is it just the neck? Is it your hormones? You want to know those things. And that's the beauty of acupuncture, is that I can look at the tongue. I can feel your pulses. I can ask you a lot of questions. I can look at your face, where the lines are. I can read the lines of the face, and I can help tell that that's a gallbladder headache, or that's a liver headache.
So these are all symptoms that you can read through the pain.
That's right. So pain is a signal. It's like your engine needs repair. Don't just turn off the light on the dashboard.
And can you treat people long distance?
I do, and especially now, we're in this situation where we have to treat long distance. And so one of the things that I do is I use magnets. Let's see, I stuck some magnets over here. Here they are. These are really powerful magnets. I mean, they just, jump together. They're very strong. And I can take these, I can talk to the patient on Skype or online or over the phone and ask them a lot of questions to find out what is their problem. And then I can send them these magnets and the tape, because the hand is so well innervated that it's represented in the brain hugely compared to other parts of the body. The brain sees us having a mouth about this big and these giant claw hands, because our hands and our mouth are so important, from childhood onwards. And so the hand, there was a Korean acupuncturist who spent 10 years mapping out the hand, the reflexes of the hand, so that you can treat the hand, you can treat the whole body by just treating magnets on the hand. And so I actually joined a team of acupuncturists who went to Nicaragua.
Kathleen, can you then treat viral infection?
Yes, we treat the immune system. We can't directly treat a virus, but you treat the immune system.
How? Give me more detail.
Well, in other words, when you treat the body, so much of the immune system has to do with stress. And so that's one of the things I really want to talk about today is the stress of the planet. The stress of the planet before the COVID pandemic even began, had such tremendous depression all over the globe, from the wars and the famine and the inequalities and the inequities that were causing so much distress that we've had tremendous depression. Well, that really depresses the immune system. And I can even vouch for my own experience, because when you get very, very stressed, your calcium comes in to lay itself down to kind of protect you. And so it does damage. It comes in to help, but it lays plaque in the arteries, or it lays itself on the spine. I had a cyst grow in my spine. And so then the stress of having surgery caused more calcium to lay itself down. So then I had, sciatica pain down the left leg. So now I have gradually dissolved the stress and dissolved the calcium. So that's an example of how stress affects all these things. So we have to get to the bottom of the problem. So when you're working on the immune system, you have to work on the brain. You have to work on the emotional center, which is right here. And of course, this emotional center is called the solar plexus. Solar, it's supposed to be a sun shining out, radiating out from here. But what do we usually have? We usually have a big box TV running all the reruns of our life, all the soap operas of our life, because that's how we've been trained in the West, to hang on to our dramas and our griefs and grievances and resentments and disappointments. We carry them
Kathleen,
around. Yes.
What natural remedies do you use for viral infections?
Well, this is my favorite one right now. I mean, there's many out there. There's many really good natural antivirals. This one is, the NIH calls this a broad spectrum antiviral, and it's called humic fulvic complex. Now, this is a wonderful topic. I've got 3 articles in my website, which I was just changing over, so it's in process, but I still have the old website up today, called Brain Body Bliss. And there are 3 articles on there about this humic fulvic acid, because this is from the trace minerals of our planet from 1 million years ago. In other words, this has been compacted underground and compressed, just like diamonds are compressed coal. This is the compressed fine residue minerals that has an effect that it helps to stop the replication of viruses. Epstein-Barr virus, herpes virus, rotaviruses, rhinoviruses, cold and flu viruses, any kind of virus. I'm not saying this is going to cure COVID. I don't say it cures any virus, but it helps to stop the replication of a virus. Because viruses have to find a cell host, or a host cell. They don't live by themselves. And they can lay in our bodies for years.
Kathleen, can we buy them in any shop or only online?
There are different brands of humic fulvic acid. After all, it's all over the planet, and yet there's only certain sources or certain veins, and some are more powerful than others. This comes from New Mexico, and you can get this on my website, Brain Body Bliss, or contacting me directly, Kathleen Rosenblatt. We're just about to launch a new company for it, because we just sort of had let this one go, but we still have a lot on stock, and it's called humic fulvic complex. And so it's a very, very powerful thing. I take it every day just preventively because it has lots of minerals and it helps the good bacteria. It's a what do you call it? A bi-directional antioxidant. In other words, it brings in the good things and it can take out the toxins. So it relieves the body of toxins in the intestines and throughout the body. And so I like the powder in my smoothie every morning. So this is the powder, which is actually more economical, but it has to adhere to something thick like a smoothie. And I take it every morning. and at night lately, because I want to protect myself and during this period. And so but then when you feel something coming on, that's when you take a little bit more of it, because that's when you want to stop the replication before it starts. Because these viruses lay dormant, and then all of a sudden they kind of peek out and they look for another host. Well, this will stop that possibility of jumping into another cell. So it's a very, very interesting product. And I've sold cases and cases of it through the years.
Kathleen,
yes.
because we want to help people watching and we want to make sure that everybody can get the bottle, but we also want to help people. When people donate to Planet Bliss $100 or more, they will receive one of these bottles for free.
Fantastic. That would be great. Yes. I'd love to make that possible for everyone that's donating to Planet Bliss and donating to Live Hope. This would be wonderful to give to you a bottle of this, and after a while, people notice they just feel better. They just feel a little stronger. Everything's working in their body, because that's the big word, is terrain. This comes from the terrain of the planet, and that's what we've lost connection with. That's why I brought all my little toys out. I put them all here because I feel that we're talking about all these cultures, all these indigenous populations that have so much knowledge and so much wisdom, and we've lost connection with the planet. And that's why I feel that during this period where we're losing people, and that is just a horrible thing, but we've been losing so many people to so many diseases. We've been losing people to so many wars because we've lost contact with the planet. And that's what I was hoping to also talk about today. All these cultures that had a feeling of connection to the planet, whether it's Chinese or Africa or India, understanding Tibet. And over here, this was a piece that I bought in India. It's like 200 years old, a Buddha. Or over here is Mary that I bought when I was a student in Ecuador when I was 17. An ancient icon. I don't know if you can see her very well, but she's incredible image of Mary. So and here's the Chinese doll. We've all these cultures that have so much knowledge. We've got to help these countries that are going through these periods of drought and famine and disease and locusts and floodings, because they can give us so much more.
Kathleen, because we're very lucky to have you, we also want to say that when people donate $100 or more to Planet Bliss, we will receive a free consultation from Dr. Rosenblatt.
I would love to do that. And so we can work it out with the Skype or Messenger. There's so many ways to connect. I'm landline and cell, and so I'd love to make that available to anyone that wants to contact me.
And we can set it up on Zoom.
That would be wonderful, yes. Because I really like to get to the bottom of the issue. When I treat a patient, I start out with 2 massage tools to really relax the whole body, to relax the nervous system. And that's the first thing. We're just all so antsy, and we've been rushing around and racing around. So that's the one good thing about this period, is that we finally get to relax. And when I read in the newspaper this morning about some people buying butter churners to learn how to churn butter, and people are trading, herbs for oranges, I mean, we're coming back to the earth, and we have to grab this opportunity, because Mother Earth has been so enjoying it. Us poor humans are suffering.
Tell us your thought about the situation, the pandemic.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that I think it somehow on a cosmic scale, this is the earth just saying, shut up, slow down. I need to breathe. And so we have to give up our suffering and celebrate with Mother Earth, that Mother Earth is suddenly allowed to breathe. They say that the pollution has been set back 10 years because of this period, just these a few months. LA there was a period after the rains that we had here where we were supposedly had the best air, what was it, in the country or the planet? I mean, that's unbelievable. And that there's birds and there's butterflies and animals that are suddenly feeling like, yeah, this is a planet. This isn't just a parkway, a freeway, a throughway. We have to slow down. And when I can live in my canyon and have it quiet instead of a little mini, freeway, we've got to look at that good side, that we've been forced to slow down and take stock of where we are. And And one of the main things I wanted to talk about today was how we all have to feel better in our skin. Whether we're the rich people that are like so stressed out trying to take care of all their goods and all their homes, or whether we're the person on the street with a leaky tent, it's still stress. And that we just don't give up our stress. People that are successful in life and yet they're still stressed more than ever, or people that are now losing their job maybe forever and their whole life is going to change even after this month and the next month, things may never be quite the same. Maybe they'll always be a little better in some ways, but they're going to be a little worse in other ways. So we have to really learn how to feel better in our skin. And that's one of my things that I do with patients. I really help them to feel better in their skin. And the good news is that Mother Nature or God or Source or the universe arranged it that we have 100 receptor sites in every one of our 70 trillion cells for feel-good opiates, natural occurring opiates that we produce or we should be producing in our bodies. Now, some of these have become dormant because we're so busy, taking a drink or taking a smoke or taking something else that shuts that system down. But they're called endorphins. And we didn't even know they existed until 25 years ago. Even though the Chinese understood they existed, they didn't know that word, but there were certain points that you could stimulate in the ear that would stimulate endorphins. And acupuncture always made people kind of feel good. But now when you can help them to even induce it more themselves, there's ways to induce these endorphins. This is what nature really had in mind for us, that nature wanted us to feel good in our skin all the time so that we would be better citizens of the planet, better citizens of the universe. So we were designed to be feeling better. And if we're hung up on nicotine, that means that now nicotine runs the deal. The nicotine is dictating to us when we can feel good. But there are ways to get you off nicotine so that you don't have to be dependent on that next cigarettes to feel okay. There's ways to getting your endorphins back on schedule, back in line. So you're retraining your brain and you're retraining your emotional center. You use up all that stuff that's built up, that's composted, all your old stories and your old things that you didn't forgive yourself, or you didn't forgive your parents, or you didn't forgive somebody, and you carry it around. Well, when you tap that and use that energy, that's power. Anything that's composted is very powerful. So you're using that stuff that you've got to really give you more energy, give you more pep, and heal the immune system, which is what we want to do. So these are things that
things that people can do to protect themselves?
Well, let's do something right now. I'd like to do a Qigong exercise. There's several good ones, but I can think of a good one. It's called the prayer wheel. And it's a simple thing. So if everyone can get up out of their chair, because now we can get have a little energy going. And so the idea is to get down so that you're going to build some energy in your thighs. The thighs are a good link for power and energy in your body. And whenever you're doing martial arts, they always get down like this so that you're creating a powerful area here so that on the top you're very light, but on the bottom you've got a good grounding, you've got a good anchor. So the prayer wheel is simply this. You're putting your hands very straight and you're making a wheel. You're going forward and then back, sort of sitting back, and then you go forward and back. I'm on a very thick carpet that can knock me over. Forward and back. And so you're building energy in your body. Is this obvious? Can you see that? I'll do it this direction as well. And so you're building energy between your hands. Now, after you do this for a little bit, and you're relaxing, breathing in, and this really brings power, and especially at this time of day when you're getting a little tired, you can create some energy, and then you can put your hands closer together, and you can feel heat between the hands. Now, the Chinese call this side the dragon energy, and this is the tiger energy, and these two energies interact. So when you're working like this and creating this power wheel, this prayer wheel, you can feel energy between your palms. And then you just keep doing this, and you can feel, so the energy is circulating between your hands all through your body. So this is a wonderful, wonderful technique to help. At the end of the day, 4 p.m., you're starting to drag a little bit. You can do this or any time of the day. It's a wonderful way to dissipate anger and frustration. I've had many people say that yeah, they use this to get rid of anger and frustration. And we've got plenty of that around, don't we? So this is a wonderful thing. Now I can just feel the energy in my hands right now. So that's a really nice energy exercise. So this is part of what we need to do to really, when people say love yourself, what does that mean, love yourself? I never could understand it. But when I started to feed myself and breathe into my body, breathing into all these communities, the shoulder community, the liver community, feeling all these communities that feed me and take care of me and run this body so well, that's what loving yourself means. To really embrace and to feel the body, to take the time to connect internally with the body. That's what it means to love yourself. Because otherwise, how do you love yourself? We love ourselves plenty. You know, we love our personality, we love our story, but to really love the body and to feel that there's a little brain and a little emotional center in every cell of the body. That's what it means to love the 70 trillion cells.
Kathleen, what was the thing you were doing? Was that Tai Chi? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, it was a Tai Chi exercise. We learned it as a preparatory Tai Chi exercise. But it's a Qigong, Tai Chi. They're very much connected. So it's a power energy exercise that you can do to help, bring energy to your body. Because this is what this period is about. We're all home. It's me, myself, and I, basically. And a few other people around.
What message would you like to leave to people?
Well, my favorite thing for me every day, in other words, how can we keep going? How can we let go of our antidepressants and I know that antidepressants are important for some people, but nowadays, the minute we get depressed, they want to give you something right away as if you can't get through it. People used to work through depression, but now they give you a drug. So that now all of a sudden your body is dependent on that drug, and then it wears off, and then you need a second drug. So what I'm trying to say is that there's ways to feed the body and take care of the body with good diet and exercise, getting out there. But the thing that saves me every day when I sort of get bogged down is I remember that the whole galaxy moves 31 million miles every day. That means that every day has such new energy and new influences. Can you imagine being 31 million miles from where you were yesterday? And yet it doesn't seem, we don't notice it because we're so bogged down in our life that we don't notice the subtlety. But when you take that time to breathe and really just meditate a little bit and just feel, let's see, right now I'm so quiet. Is this what it feels like to be moving 2,000 miles an hour? Because that's what you're doing. You're moving 2,000 miles an hour every second of your life. And, it's mind-boggling. But if you can sit down and really relax and say, I hate this being isolated. I hate this social distancing. But what are the good sides of it? What is it for me? What is it for my planet? And so to take the time to be really centered and to feel that energy and to feel that I am moving 2,000 miles an hour. What does that feel like? I guess this is what it feels like. Because even when you're on an airplane, you don't feel yourself moving. You only feel yourself moving when you stop. Even in your car, you don't feel yourself moving until you come to a stop sign. We have come to a stop sign as a planet. And this is the first time in history that the whole planet, I brought this here, the whole planet is on hiatus. The whole planet is taking a step back or a step forward. So our planet is happy. Humans aren't so happy. But the rest of organic life is very happy. So we have to feel like we are really...
Can you tell us again the name of the product and where people can buy it?
Yes. This is humic fulvic acid. And I suppose they need to call me because it is on my website. My website is called brainbodybliss.com. And this is humic fulvic. And we are going to be creating a new website for it. We had a website for it, and but this just came along. We weren't ready for it because we've been selling it. We've been sending it out all over the country.
And for now, people can also donate to Planet Bliss, and they will receive one bottle for free.
Yes, I know.
So they're helping others and helping
Bliss
themselves.
is going to be a new film, and there is really a Planet Bliss. I see it, and I watch, the Science Channel all the time, and they talk about Bliss, this planet that's out there that's very Earth-like, very habitable. And so there's this new film coming out about this place called Bliss. It's going to be a comedy, a sci-fi comedy. Sounds really exciting, and so they are sponsoring this today. So if you donate to Planet Bliss, you will get one of these for free. This will be a donation.
And also, I want to remind that when people donate $100 or more, not only they can choose to have one bottle for free, but they can have a consultation by you for free.
Yes, I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm offering a consultation on Scope or on Skype or
and on top of that, they can also choose to get one baseball cap or a T-shirt or a mask for free.
Okay, they're saying a T-shirt or a what?
A mask or a baseball cap.
Yes, a cap or a T-shirt for free.
So for $100 donation, they can choose one of these items or a bottle or a consultation by you.
Yes. For $100 donation, there's T-shirts, there's baseball caps, there's my consultation, and there's the humic fulvic. And this is really something that it's just such a good product. I mean, it really covers so much. It helps stop viruses, helps to establish the correct bacteria in your body. And we are like Noah's Ark. There's more bacteria in our bodies than there is me. The bacteria runs everything. Every time we think we want some cookies, it's the bacteria saying, I want cookies. The bacteria just directs so many things in our thinking and our emotions. And so we really have to handle the bacteria in our body. There's lots of good bacteria. We need that. We need the probiotics, but there's also the bad bacteria that just wants to eat cookies. So we need
Kathleen, we loved so much having you with us. It was very inspiring, everything you said. We want to invite you live again for a Q&A session in the very near future so people can ask you questions directly.
Yes, we'd like to do a Q&A, and I have some more things that I can share. I was going to read something because I think one of the problems in the world, in other words, one of my aims today was
We're gonna do it now.
Okay.
Read it now.
Oh, the Q&A?
No. What you have something to read.
All right. Well, this is a poem that I wrote after 9/11. Before I knew more about 9/11, I thought it was just religious problems. And this was a poem that I wrote called "All God's Names." And throw my glasses around here. And so let me just read it.
Yes.
What will I call you today, Lord? Allah, Yahweh, Dios, Apollo, Indra, Holy Ghost? What languages are you speaking today? It is said that you are creator and linguist of all planets. You speak Mandarin, Nahuatl, Sanskrit, Farsi, Latin, Arabic, and all 300 dialects in India. For every culture, a sacred language. To speak ceremonies, formulas, prayers to invoke you. Certainly the Lord of the universe is just as sacred in Arabic as in English. If we believe in your omnipresence, why can't we accept that you are you in everything, everywhere, in all times, with Moses and Mohammed? Surely you would have contacted someone in North America. Why not Black Elk? Or Mormon Joseph Smith, and the Great Mother come to Guadalupe. We say you are all powerful, and yet we can't accept you sending a messenger to any culture but our own. In our superiority, we reject pantheists as primitive, those who feel your presence in the stars and oceans. The Native American rites were innately spiritual, honoring your presence in every blade of grass. Yet we call them pagan. Can't we all be part of the grand old religion, the chosen few, the one true church in this larger sense? An omnipotent God would take care of everyone, no? Our entire planet spins out from your finger. Did you set the world in motion with one spark of astral fusion? The Big Bang vibrates still as we blast through space. Are we not linked tightly enough in our DNA to be woven together as a blanket, a sacred garment around the earth? Parishes, conclaves, synagogues, minarets, chuppahs, stupas, Eucharist, Kaaba, Torah, Calvary, Mount Ararat, Mount Sinai, the Mound of the Rock, Mount Meru, all the holy mountains of the earth. We breathe in, inspire, to pull in you, espiritu, to inspire ourselves with this cosmic energy. Chi, prana, mana, this you. Einstein says we are 99% empty space filled with bubbles of energy. We can feel this energy is you. So we reach out to thank you for having touched all our cultures in such personal ways through time, making each group feel like your special favorites. We thank you for allowing us to know your names. Do you think we'll stop wars with that?
Kathleen, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
You're welcome. I wrote that back in like 2003 or something. My
But
dad
it's still
really
very
liked that
current.
poem.
It's still very current.
Now, I thought that we could do another exercise, or I thought people could meditate. I could play something on the piano, or I could talk about any number of.
We want to save this for our next live with you, with the Q&A.
Okay,
So save all your ideas because we would love to have you back with us.
great.
So
Well,
we invite you to come back live with us in the very near future.
All right. So my main message is raise your spirits, breathe hard and heavy, and feel the joy of being alive on this planet. We've never been in something so much together as a planet. I mean, the whole damn planet together. It's just amazing. So think of Mother Nature, so grateful to us, to give her a break. Get out of our cars. They say that the seismologists can feel the earth tectonic plates moving better. You know? I mean, feel the earth move under our feet. Amen.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. We loved having
Thank
you
you,
here with
Sara.
us live, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye. Bye, Kathleen. That was Dr. Kathleen Rosenblatt talking about acupuncture and alternative medicine. We really want to thank her for being with us and sharing all her knowledge. We will have her back soon for a Q&A. In the meantime, remember, you can donate to www.livehopefestival.com and to www.planetgliss.com. And when you donate $100 or more to Planet Gliss, you can receive a free consultation from Dr. Rosenblatt, or one of the bottles, that the product that she just showed us, or a free baseball cap, or a t-shirt, or a mask. This is our way to say that your help is valuable, and is our way to say thank you. So donate as much as you can. Any change you have at home, $1, $5, anything is good. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back soon live with Planet Gliss and Live Hope. Bye.